Hello, all of you. I'm here to talk about the developments that are taking place in Pacific Ocean, remote island of Pacific Ocean, Solomon Island. Solomon Islands have been there in the news precisely for the Tulagi Island that has been leased to China, lease period being 99 years, and it is considered to be one of the very significant strategic development that we can notice in this ocean. This development and the ripple, the spillover effect that goes up with it can have a big potentiality of the question for the upcoming prelims, and it can also have its implication in the main examination. How it is going to have its impact on the Indo-Pacific, how it is justified to be a major strategic loss to Taiwan are the important things that we can certainly take into account. Also, that when I take the reference of Chinese attempt in this particular region, Indo-Pacific, it can be considered to be second major attempt by China after 9-dash line in South China Sea. Let us quickly try to take up the important locations and the important developments that can possibly help you in your revision for the upcoming prelims, because contemporary development might be there as a map oriented question, or can be a question which is asking you to consider the statement and find out the correct ones. Let us quickly try to take up it. So as all of us can see, map of world in front of us. If I have to specify the location that we are trying to deal up with the recent development, it is right here in Oceania. And as I zoom it up, I just want you to have the location clarity to interpret what exactly is the challenge that we are noticing. So first and foremost thing for all of you to notice is the location of Solomon Islands. Please don't miss to see its proximity not just to Australia. Do see its proximity to the Marianas and Guam Island. If I'm just slightly zooming it up right here, this is United States of America, because we are taking the Guam Island and Northern Marianas as United States of America. So the domain that has been in the US and Australian is by default marking up the presence of China here. So Solomon Island right east of Papua New Guinea. The developments that you have to identify here are to be referred with the detailed map. So the location is very clear, and this location involves some important developments. So let us try to apply it. As I look at the detailed map of Solomon Islands, which you can see with the inset map is giving you the clear location. This is my Horn of Africa. I can easily recognize this is my Papua New Guinea. This is my Solomon Island, an enlargement here. So carefully see the location and highlight. This is Tulagi. Tulagi very clearly falls into the central Solomon Island. And as I said, this is the island that has been, it's a very prominent island that has been there in the news of the strategic significance in the recent times because of China attaining the lease, because Solomon Island was one of the Pacific countries to have recognized Taiwan as an independent country and have precisely ditched. It's not just Solomon Island, it's Kiribati also, that in the recent times have just switched on their stand, becoming pro-China and anti-Taiwan. So there is a big loss that Taiwan is also suffering here. But if I talk about Tulagi, the island, which is very small, it is about 2 square kilometers, as you can see right here, and has got population of 1,200 people only. So from the parameter that we can apply on with our country, it is actually uninhabited, if I can use that term. So it's very small factor. Its importance actually can be traced back to Second World War time, because during Second World War, the Japanese naval base was marking up its development there. And now when I say it is 99 years of lease that China has attained, and China precisely is aiming at developing a refinery in this island. This is what is being claimed. But we are very clearly aware of the fact that what happened in the South China Sea is likely to have its development right here in Pacific. To make more understanding of it, let us take this map into consideration. I certainly don't want to speak about the 9-dash line. We all are aware of it. We have been referring it. So I can see this 9 dash line. The 9 dash line is the unilateral claim that China has on the maritime zone of South China Sea, as you can notice. But what I want you to carefully apply and notice is these dots which are represented as reefs China is building into artificial islands. These are actually the shallow coral reefs or islets that are such shallow, small in size, unconsolidated that they cannot be truly considered as an island. And mind it, all of them are being converted into artificial islands by China. And this automatically can give China a very strong strategic presence in South China Sea, which involves hydrocarbon reserves, which incorporates the important maritime trade link. And that definitely is somewhere questioning the dominance that we have of United States of America in this region. And don't miss to remind yourself of Parcel Island, Spratly Island, and these are the two islands which are being claimed by the neighboring countries, but is in the possession of China. And if it is Spratly Island, if I slightly zoom it up, Subi Reef, Gavin Reef, Ferry Cross Reef, Johnson South Reef are the examples of the reefs that have been actually converted into the artificial islands. And very clearly, these scattered reefs have been claimed and counterclaimed by neighboring countries, as can be read here: Philippines, Vietnam, Malaysia, Brunei. You can see Brunei right here. This is Brunei. Malaysia are having their counterclaim. So the development that we are noticing at Tulagi is likely to have the similar futuristic perspective as we have seen with Parcel and Spratly Islands. That is where we see the link. And added to it, if I have to speak out something more towards it, if we try to see this Japan-US strategic crossroads, we can justify that Solomon Island have been part and parcel of these crossroads. Please don't miss to see this. So this stands for US and this stands for Japan. Are we noticing Solomon Island? It's very clearly giving us Chinese strategic presence right here in this location. I've already talked about 9 dash line, so I don't need to talk about it. You can also try and justify the very important, the piece under construction, this entire submarine cable line that China is developing. So this is all evolved and we are now having the under construction in East Africa. And you can easily see that this is giving us the very prominent aggression that China is having in the Indo-Pacific. And if I have to talk about the strategic loss that Taiwan is actually experiencing, I'll ask you to see it the location this way. We all can notice Taiwan easily. This small island country that I'm noticing in Pacific Ocean is not being given recognition as a sovereign state by United Nations. And the countries that have been giving it this recognition included Solomon Island, included Kiribati. If I zoom it out, you will easily see Kiribati. It is on the western hemispheric side. So in the recent times, like in 2019, both Kiribati and Solomon Island switched their recognition. So they are no longer recognizing Taiwan as an independent sovereign state. And recently, 2021 December, it was Nicaragua. Nicaragua is a Central American country, right? That also switched its stand, making only 13 countries now that are giving recognition to Taiwan as a sovereign state. It has not been given recognition by United Nations. So if at one end, Tulagi incidents is adding to the strategic dominance of China in Indo-Pacific region, it is surely a declining prominence of Taiwan in this region and Taiwan ambition to be given recognition as a sovereign independent state in the likely future. The third thing that can easily be applied here is that this new development is definitely going to change the entire strategic orientation of Indo-Pacific region, Pacific specifically, where we already have the strategic crossroads of US and Japan, China marking its presence right there. I sincerely hope that this particular outlay is going to quickly help you in revising the information that you surely would have grabbed in creating out a logical strategic content if you're writing the answer. And if we encounter a map based question in our upcoming prelims, we are in the position of handling. Before I bid you goodbye, one more reminder. Please remind yourself, neighboring Solomon Island in Papua New Guinea, a referendum to make the new independent country on the map of world, Bougainville, have already created one important updated information for these sleeping islands of Pacific, becoming important potential questions for our question. All the very best. Bye bye from my side.